Testing 1 2. Test 1 1 2. Open already. Testing 1 2. Blessing, good afternoon to each and everyone. Welcome to douglAR Radio at Atlantic Studio. Yes, of course, douglAR Radio would be operating from Atlantic Studio. And while the PNM believes that they can shut us down, they may very well be able to shut us down on a radio station, but they could never shut our mouths from speaking and bringing the truth, bringing the facts before you, where you would be able to examine and see what is happening in this country. Today we, of course, heard that the Piaco International Airport had a shutdown. A matter of fact, we want to ask who let the dogs out. You know, the dogs was out, and while the dogs was out, planes were circling, and our information, we have been told that one plane had to head back to Tobago from whence it came. And of course, tell me something here this afternoon. While we tell ourselves things cannot get worse than they are, every day we are experiencing something different. And on this occasion we were able to see that some dogs shut the airport down, and this can also be determined as a disaster in waiting, because let's just suppose for a little bit that one of those craft was about to touch down, and then Freddie and Scotty and Susie and Billy and Brongy and Lassie and Blackie and whoever decide, well, look, we're going to have a time. That's very unfortunate, and it tells us, and these things continue to point out the weakness in the systems, and also the weakness in those who are responsible for security. And as I am on that topic, I want to ask Failure Fitzgerald. I want to ask Mr. Heinz. I asked a question, and I've been asking these questions for months. And I don't want you to believe for 1 minute that that question will go away. And the question, Minister Heinz, is your wife, at any time, Minister Heinz, distributed government vouchers in Jacob Settlement, Santa Flora. That question would not go away. That question come to stay, Minister Heinz. Because I want to go a little further. Minister Heinz. There's a little ghost tree on the SS Erin Road. And that ghost tree, Minister Heinz, that ghost tree was responsible for cashing some vouchers. That ghost tree was responsible for cashing some government vouchers. And I am asking you, Minister Heinz, did your wife at any time distributed government vouchers to people within a religious organization in Jacob settlement. A matter of fact, I'll break it down for you. There is 4 religious organizations in Jacob settlement. 4. And I am asking you, if at any time during the pandemic, your wife were in possession of government vouchers, and if so, I want to ask a second question. By whose authority? By whose authority? If so, I want to ask a second question. By whose authority, Minister Heinz? By whose authority? That is the question. And I will gladly appreciate if you would share some light and tell us, no, that never took place. That is all I am waiting for you to say to us, Minister Heinz. That never took place. That is all I wanted to do, you know. So I am asking the question. Did your wife distribute vouchers, government vouchers, to a religious organization in Jacob settlement? And let me help you a little bit more, or I wonder if I should leave that for the next occasion. Now, let me help you a little bit more. Is it, Minister Heinz, that your wife have some sort of association, some sorts of long-standing association with that religious organization? That is questions I am asking. So it's really 3 simple questions. 1, did your wife give out government vouchers throughout the pandemic to a religious organization in Jacob settlement? 2, by who authority? And 3, is that organization a long-standing organization with your wife? And all I want you to tell us, Minister Heinz, is no, that never happened. Because if you can't tell us, if you cannot tell us that that never happened, then a matter of fact, if you are not telling us that it never happened, then there may very well be a possibility that it did happen. So we want to hear from you. We want to hear from you whether it happened or it did not happen. And if it happened, by who authority? Is your wife working or affiliated with Donna Cox's ministry? Tell us. Tell us, Heinz, tell us. Because it would not go away. It would not go away. You see, I want to share something with you folks. Government checks and government vouchers somehow or the other, people have a way not just cashing these things. People have a way at taking certain records, voucher number, who brought it in. People have a way at doing that. And people have a way at telling you where they collect this. And they would also advise others to go and see if they could get one too. You see, let me break that down a little bit. What will eventually happen is if one of my sons is in Jacob settlement and somebody pass sharing out hamper, and my son get a hamper, he will tell all his friends, hey, look at an individual down by the stamp pipe with a van giving out hamper, boy. Go down there and see if you could get a hamper, boy. Do fast now, boy, you're still sticking. Young people think. It's the same way when vouchers come to organizations and get into the hands of people. You see, sometimes people also get angry because they believe somebody get a voucher and they very well think that they are the ones should have got this voucher simply because they believe things more bad by them than by the neighbor. So all these things has happened and word does get out and the oath of secrecy. You see, the Cosa Nostra is not only those to the top up there. It's not only there. You see, minister's wife, minister's outside man and woman, they are all part and parcel of the thing because everybody have to keep a secret. And then sometime what does happen is sometime when a minister wife or outside woman do something and they tell people, stay quiet. Don't let nobody know where you get it from. Just tell them that this came from Ministry of Social Development. You see, sometimes people on the outside doesn't always follow that instruction. So sometimes what people do, they will tell somebody, hey, it's Tom Brown and Jesse Black that bring them vouchers. And they pass the vouchers to the pastor, or they pass the vouchers to the secretary, or they pass the vouchers to the deacon or the bishop, or however you want to call them. And then now, when the deacon or the bishop distribute vouchers, the deacon and the bishop may very well distribute the vouchers with a bias. And when that happens, well, then all the kankalang start. Because they will start to say, Bishop X gives Sister J 2 vouchers and gives Sister J family 2 vouchers and gives Sister J cousin 2 vouchers and gives Sister J husband 2 vouchers. And then you know what has happened? The talk that start. Because people vex, because they believe that they are in a position more desperate than Sister J, ex sister-in-law, brother-in-law, mother-in-law, and the whole team. And then the talk that start. And when the talk start, somebody will call me. And somebody will tell me, you know what go on? Let me tell you what happened. This happened. And this one bring it. And this one pass it to the pastor. And the pastor share it to all the good paddywags. So the thing does bust open in the center. So I am asking you, Minister Heinz, if your wife was in possession of government vouchers, and by who authority, and did your wife distribute those vouchers if she were in whole of these vouchers? Did your madam give them out to any religious organization? That is all I asking you. That is all we asking. And we just want to know by who authority if she did in fact give out these vouchers. That is what we asking you. Just tell us that and we will know what to do from there. We will know where to take it from there. We will know where to report it from there. So that is why we are asking. You see, in government, what we realize is that people believe, and this is a real strategy of the PNM, you know. The PNM believe that they could do everything and they could do anything, and then all they have to do is to stay quiet about it and that it will go away. Well, let me tell you something. There is some people that will never allow it to go away. Because you see, corruption is too blatant. Corruption is a severe entity in this country. You know, Archie, I was shocked to hear some church bishop this week talking about the corruption in Trinidad and talking about the way in which we operate in this country, and Trinidad is at the worst point in its history, and so on and so on. I was shocked because I know on this program we continue to say that the church leaders in this country dumb. We continue to tell you church leaders that all here is a bunch of jokers. And even those in the IRO, the interreligious organization, yeah man, that the man Archie. I was shocked. Trinidad and Tobago has been described as a dying country, beaten up by corruption. I was shocked when I heard that man open his mouth and talk. And they're talking because the eagle flying, but the eagle not landing by them. And when the eagle fly, now in layman terms, we have it that, you know, all you folks who used to work in the energy sector, you know, we would say that the eagle flying, and the eagle flying will symbolize the pay van running. So when I used to work Santana, on a Thursday night when we making morning tower, we will start to say, boy, the eagle flying, boy, the eagle go land just now, it's flying. And then the van used to come down with we check something, sometimes 6:15. The van reach, the brown van we used to call it. And you know, we will say, boy, the eagle land, because we see the brown envelope gone in the doghouse. And then as we wash up and thing and we come down and daylight shift come and take over, everybody wash up and we look in the go across the sign. But the eagle flying by these religious organizations, but you know what happening? It's only some getting. It's only some getting. So as you hear they ain't get, they're starting to whisper a little bit. Hear what happening? The country at a bad state, corruption. But you know what they ain't saying? Let me tell you what they ain't saying. They won't tell you the country has a bad state under the PNM, under Keith Rowley government. They ain't telling you that, you know. But they're pelting out the pebbles now. Little pebbles. They're pelting a little pebble here, a little pebble there. And sometimes they pelt a pebble in the water. You know, we just call it tic-tac-toe. Sometimes they pelt a pebble in the water and they go plash, plash, plash. So that is what these religious leaders doing now. They're pelting out little, what is Archbishop Gordon? Yeah, they're pelting little pebbles. But they ain't coming up and tell you, between 2010 and 2015, they come out and they tell you about the UNC and this and that and that. But here what they doing now, they coming now and they pelting the little stone quietly, pelting the little stone, threatening Rowley. We pelt a stone in Rowley. What happened when the eagle landing? The eagle flying, we see it land across there, but it didn't land in here. We pelt a stone again. Let me tell you something. Archbishop Gordon and all of them, as far as I am concerned, is a bunch of jokers in this country. And these fellas is not serious about the stability of this country. They are not serious about the equity in this country, they are not serious about good governance in this country. Because if them fellas serious about good governance in this country, them fellas will come out and do just what they do between 2010 and 2015. They will come out, they will talk out, they will condemn this government outright. They will tell you that the Keith Rowley administration, the PNM administration, they are tying this country foot, they are bending this country, they are twisting this country, they are raping this country, they are murdering this country with corruption. They will come out and tell you. But all them religious leaders, they are playing games. Games they are playing. The IRO, all them studying is the concordat. They're studying about the school fund. They're studying about the upliftment of the schools. They're studying the kakada, how to come in. So they're not coming out to tell you that the government is mismanaging and mishandling the affairs of the country. They are not coming to tell you that. They will ensure that the ball bearings are greased. They are ensuring that the money come to their denominational schools. So they're not coming out. They're not coming out and tell you that this government is a corrupted government and it's time for us to stand together and remove this government. They will never tell you that. They will just hint at pebbles, little small mustard seed stones. They will throw and hope that Rowley government get the message, and the thing that ought to come in. That is what they will never stand up and tell you. And let me tell you something. There is a whole misconception when they will tell you that the scripture tell you not to be entangled with the affairs of this world. They will take that and take it out of context and tell you that, hey, you ought not to talk about the wrongdoing about governance, because they will come back and tell you all government is appointed by God. They will tell you that. They will tell you that. But they will not tell you that how God raised up Babylon to punish Israel. But Babylon was always a heathen nation. But Babylon was raised for a particular purpose. And after Babylon complete their mission, what happened to Babylon? What happened to Babylon? Ancient Babylon. What happened to it? So you see, these religious leaders, they will play on your minds. They dress up with a fancy robe and this big cross on the chest, while that cross should be on the neck. They will put this big cross on their chest to make you believe that they are holier than thou. But they are holier than thou once they get the kakada from the government. They are more holier than thou. And added to that, not only they are more holier than thou, but let me tell you something. I saw a religious leader recently post on Facebook how beautiful and how exciting and how fiery and all the nice thing about the pulpit that happened in the church. And I was tempted to text. Because that leader was lifting up and exalting another leader who, when we walk in Brea, that leader family tell us that they don't support that kind. Yes, soak it in. That leader who they was exalting, mother and sister, tell us that they doesn't support that kind. But you know what? When Sunday morning reach in the church, they hugging up and they greeting that kind, and they passing the collection basket to collect collection from that kind. But when come to vote and politics, they don't support that kind. That is the kind of hypocrisy that exists by those who profess to be religious leaders. All you're getting it real, all you're getting it hot. If all you can digest it, that is all your problem. But that is the hypocrisy that comes out from plenty of those religious leaders. When election call, they will tell you, do not support the Hindus. That is what they tell you. You can't support the Hindus because the Hindus' worship is not according to our worship. But you know what? You know what? Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something here today. While they tell you that for election, outside of election, they're trying to see what they could benefit from the same Hindus. They're trying to benefit from the same Hindus as election done. And that is why I am here to wake you up and to interfere with your minds so that you can see deception when it approaches your intellect. When deception approaches your intellect, you could be able to see it before you observe it. Because this is what they use to keep you separated, while at the same time they benefit. That is what they use. So we will mash that up. We're going to break that down. We're going to tell you, once your leader saying to you that we cannot support that kind, then my question is, why you supporting that leader? Why you paying that leader phone bill? Why you paying that leader house rent? Why you sending that leader on those trips where you yourself cannot go? Why are you providing an education for that leader children when you cannot provide an education for your own children? Why you will send these leaders and their families to Disneyland when you and your family can't even go Port of Spain? Why? Because you allow them to interfere. You allow them to interfere with your brain cells, that you believe that you must be obligated to feed and to furnish and to enrich your leader when you remain hungry. I want to ask you, during the pandemic, how much of your leaders brought a food packet to your doorstep? How much of your leaders that you exalt, that you are saying that this is the God man, that below Jesus is him, how many of those had come to your doorstep and bring you one pack of food stuff during the pandemic? But you know what they tell you? They tell you to prepare the collection. They will be coming to pick it up. Am I right? If I'm wrong, tell me I'm wrong. They tell you to prepare the collection. They would be passing and just slip it under your door, or open your door and drop the sealed envelope in front of your door and close it back, because when coming for the collection, they want to ensure that they ain't get no variant, you know. So when they come in for the collection, there wasn't the God man at that time. There wasn't the God man. All of them who tell you we could do miracles, when they come in for the collection, they're properly well masked up though. If they're so good, If they're so good, when they come in to collect your envelope, but guess what? When they collect the envelope, did these individuals leave a pack of food, a pack of rice, a pack of flour, a small bottle of oil, a pack of quicks, a tin of sardine, a piece of cheese, a butter, a little ketchup and spaghetti? Did these individuals leave it by your door? And the answer is no. You didn't see them there for that purpose. They wasn't there for that purpose. But yet to the end of the day, when it's time for election, they tell you, do not support that kind. And what happens is that your own kind take away support from you. So they tell you, do not support that kind. And while you did not support that kind, your own remove any form of support that you had from you, they remove it from you. None, no support for you. But guess what? Don't support that kind. And that is what we get out of these religious leaders. These religious leaders, they are a type of stereotype robot. They behave a particular way. When the kakada not coming, and you don't if you don't believe me, let me give you a classic example. Sunday coming, don't put nothing in the basket. Again, your example. Sunday coming, do not put nothing in the basket when the basket parts. Don't put nothing. And the following Sunday, you call me and tell me what is the sermon you get. Don't put nothing in the basket this Sunday. And next Sunday, call me, Victor Roberts, you know what is the sermon? You test it for yourself. Test it. You see, while you see Gordon and all of them stand up, you see what others call them because we have no respect for them. When you see them stand up and mention, nibble up at 2-3 words about corruption and corruption. So all they know corruption, it didn't have corruption from since 2015. Since 2015 coming up the road, all they wasn't seeing corruption, all they wasn't seeing nepotism, all they wasn't seeing nothing. You know why? Because the song all they was singing is, come fill my cup, let it overflow. Come fill my cup and let it overflow. Huh? Come fill my cup, let it overflow. Let it overflow with Blue Note. So all they wasn't worried. All they didn't have nothing to say. All was honky-dory. Everything was nice. Things was flowing. So now the thing shut down. Now the thing hang up. Now the thing not coming. We starting to hear now that this is a country. And here how they put it, you know. Here how they put it. Trinidad and Tobago has been described as a dying country. Beaten up by corruption. Beaten up by the PNM, Gordon.
That is it. He's afraid to say that.
That is what he's afraid to say.
The word PNM.
Beat up by the PNM. Say the word. Don't tell me about this country. Beat it up. Who beating it up? Tell me that this country is dying. This country has been beaten up by the PNM with corruption. Tell us that, and then I will call you Archbishop. Then I will call you Archbishop. But now, as far as I'm concerned, you just Gordon.
I'm afraid to tell you this. If I only all child abuse, but I know that is a special section you're going to deal with.
In a little bit. In a little bit. You see, let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. Games does play on the football field. Games does play in the community centers. Games does play by the bar. Man feel to play a whole force competition, wherever. A man want to play cricket, win ball, hardball, wherever. A man want to swim wherever. He go up in the aquatic center and he do his thing. A man want track and field, whatever. But let me tell you something. You see, when come into governance, it ain't no game there. And when you catch religious leaders playing games because the government that they support start to starve them from that little kakada that they expect to collect every month. Let me tell you this. I'm talking to a man the other day. I'm walking my merry way, he stops squeaks. How things are, Victor? I said, well, things couldn't be better because I know he supported the PNM. I said things couldn't be better. Well, boy, things ain't so good because one of we school kind of closed down. And take it actually, I'll come back on my point. Welcome, caller.
Good night, Mr. Victor and Archie.
Yes, sir, good night.
The reason why they're talking about now, remember Harris, the last outgoing bishop, he sell a piece of land to build Alize house. And the next one, Harvey, the politician, he up the Caribbean preaching.
Yeah, in Grenada.
But what's going on now is Gordon getting the royalty from the Balize house now, right? So he said it's full of corruption now because they're supposed to get a royalty. Because you see, when they talk out, right? They're not talking out, and it's the same thing we had on this program when they talk about all the religious leaders and them, they go on dormant. But as you say, the issue is the sky. They will come to land one of these days. Have a nice evening.
Thank you, caller. And that is the reality. That is reality. Come out and talk, man. Come out and talk. You supposed to be a man representing God on the earth. Right? That is what we were taught. That these religious leaders, they're representing God on the earth. If you are representing God on the earth, then you are expected to be just, upright, not bend, not lay back, not bend back. You are supposed to be talking facts, talking the truth. But, again in the story, this man will stop me, ask me how things going. And he telling me, well, boy, you know, when I was school, we had to close it down. And here we gone. He said, I will never forget Tim Gopi Singh. Because when we went by Tim Gopi Singh and tell him about the school in Mokorapo, I want to know what I'm talking about. The school in Mokorapo under the Jamaat al-Muslimin. We gone by Tim Gopi Singh. And when we reach by Tim tell we go review the conquer that, and he go do this and he go do that. And guess what happened? We never get a cent. Nothing we ever get. But boy, thank God today that Rowley gained we something. Rowley gained we something. And we getting something. So one of these schools still closed, but at least we could still handle some of the teachers. So I say, how long this school existed? He said, boy, 15 years. I said, but Tim only had 5 years. Only 5 years Tim had. What happened before that? He said, boy, I did it with the present. You see how the game does play? That's how the game does play. Because what? You're supporting the PNM now because you say Rowley gain all this something. Right? You say that when they went by Garcia tell the board, prepare something. And they give all the $1,500 per teacher. And then all they went back. And you say that Rowley said that is unacceptable. Fix that. And it fixed. It fixed. But how it fixed? How it fixed? You see, I want to ask something, you know. So it fixed, all they getting something, everything working nice, right? All they get something. All they get a couple 100,000 throughout the pandemic, whether 300,000-400,000, all they get throughout the pandemic and so on. And everybody happy, really nice. And that is the selfish, wicked, evil, devilish way about people in this country. The evil, selfish, devilish way about people in this country. You see where it is? Once my business fixed, I will support wrongdoing. I will support wrongdoing. I had a good friend. In time, all I go know who it is. A real good friend. If I go east, he in east. I go west, in west. I go down north. North. I in south. South. I in Tobago. Tobago. I'm going to tell you something about this good friend. This good friend tell me, boy Victor, Brea had to win, boy. Brea had to win. I feel we had to look for something for ourselves. So, I find that story so fishy. So I bait up my line and I swing it out there. What up? I put no cork, because I want my line go straight down to the bottom because it's down there go pull up the big fish. So I say, well, boy, I for that, I for that. But the price had to be nice. The man tell me, but the price nice already. Just say the word. I say, but the price can be nice for me alone. The price had to be nice for you too. He said, boy, I don't get a digit already. I don't get a digit already. So just let me hear what is the figure. Let me tell you something. I want to say this again. Loyalty have no price attached to it when coming to Victor Roberts. I hear people say everybody have a price. I detest that nonsense. Nobody have a price until you, the individual, put a price on your loyalty. There is no price until you put a price that you think you worth. And I try to educate people by telling them, once you put a price on your loyalty, then you can be sold for penny. They will buy you for 100 and sell you for penny. Remember that. Remember that. In time to come, I don't have to tell all you will know and make out who I talking about. You see, the P&M money, the P&M corruption, the P&M nepotism, the P&M wickedness. Victor Roberts, I want to tell you this evening, you cannot buy me. You cannot buy me. And I will tell you why. Leave Gordon right on the screen there for me, Archie. I'm going to tell you why. When I was shot by the P&M, on that motorcade, I was shot fighting for the people. Take notes, take notes. All of the P&M, take notes. When I was shot wrong dangerous corner by them soldiers, I hear all kind of story. They try to fabricate and they say, I had a gun and the gun fall. The gun fall and shoot me through my chest and come through the side of my spine. The gun fall and did that. All that, a matter of fact, Maclache and Nicole Oliveri allegedly mentioned that idiotism to some people in Library. Nobody didn't shoot him. He had a gun and it fall. And when it fall, well, when the gun fall, it had to get up for itself, come up back at my shoulder height, come through the side of my chest, and exit through the side of my spine. They say he shoot himself because he want to win election. Let me tell you something. When I was shot by the PNM and the army men, the soldiers, right? The same Jeep run side and bounce me and say, victory black man. A black man like myself, you know, my kind. And my next kind stand up inside the bamboo patch there with a rifle. Right? My kind. Let me tell you something. The doctors say Victor Roberts could never survive. The African doctor, when I reach Separia, in that health facility that Kamla Prasad Bisasabil, when I reached there, the African doctor are still conscious, and the African doctor said, we have to cut him now for him to survive. No anesthetic. Right there, lean me on his lap and cut underneath my arm. Send down a tube, a hose, down inside. Straight down inside my lungs. 2 lungs puncture. And stabilize me. Sit in the ambulance with me. Leave the hospital and came straight to San Fernando, where they do the emergency operation. Alright? Even downstairs, they tell my children and my wife, 50-50, but 50 on the negative side. I come into a point, 50 on the negative side. Today, I am sitting here and I am continuing the same job that I started when I was shot. After I refused what they were offering me to step down. Take the caller, I don't know which part I is. Welcome, caller.
Good evening, Mr. Robert.
Good day, sir.
Is the you were just talking about? He happens to be Jeffrey?
No, I'm not talking about anybody. I'm just making a statement. In time, everybody will know who I'm talking about, caller. Don't worry. So, when that happened, I came out and I started to fight the same fight that I was fighting when they tried to eliminate me after I refused what they was offering me to step aside. And I'm going to tell you more. While I was going independent, I had a phone conversation with Suraj Ratan Rambachan. That conversation was intercepted by the PNM. That conversation was intercepted by the PNM. And I will tell you what that conversation was about today. That conversation, I was telling Rambachan that when I win that seat independent, I am going to give my support in the corporation to the UNC. But at the same time, the UNC must understand that they have to deliver to the electoral district of Palo Seco. That conversation was intercepted. And that was the result on that fateful night. When I get shot, Keith Rowley said, while in the hospital, Keith Rowley said that he is the head of the National Security Council. And he is privy to information that the average man would not or cannot be privy to. And he said he don't believe that my shooting was political, but in the next couple of days he going to make a statement. You hear what I'm saying to you guys? 2016 to now, Keith Rowley cannot make that statement. You know what they was waiting on? They were waiting for me to die. And then when Keith Rowley comes out and make whatever statement that he was going to make on me, you and all would have believed Keith Rowley. But you know what happened? Let me tell you what happened. The Creator kept me alive till this day. And that is why God, I have no respect for. Because when you are a man of God, then you cannot fear what they will do to you. You cannot fear, yea, do you walk through the valley of the shadow of death. You cannot fear no evil, and that is why I do not fear the PNM. I don't fear evil. That is why they cannot buy Victor Roberts. That is why they cannot buy me. And that is why I will continue to stand for the poor, the oppressed, and the downtrodden in this country. I am not the kind of man that will support Rowley policy where the rich must get richer. I will never support that. Never support that. That could never be a policy for Victor Roberts. I have no problem with the rich getting richer, you know. Don't get me wrong. The rich invest their money and they're doing their business above board. The profit, the returns come in. They make more money and more money. That's fine. That's fine. But my mission is to help the poor, the oppressed, and the downtrodden to have something in this country, because the wealth of this country, because the resources of this country belongs to every citizen. And that is why Gordon and half, if not 3/4, of those religious leaders cannot stand up and speak out and spew the truth without fear, without favor, without malice. Cannot. You know why? You know why? Because they too have a price. They have a price. They benefit. So they would not speak. They will not outright come out and condemn the PNM. They don't care how much blood run on the streets in our country. Which religious leader you have seen coming to the forefront and condemning Heinz and condemning the government for the amount of blood that is flowing on the streets? Yes, they speak about the blood of Christ, but they are not condemning the blood of the poor, the downtrodden, and even the businessmen who lose their life as a result of the poor governance in this country. They will not speak. They will not tell you, because a price is attached. A price is there. And once a price is there, you will only receive the same reward. While you people sit in this country and support a government because it appears to be your color, your family will perish. Your wives, your husband, your daughters, your sons, your grandchildren will perish in this country simply because you select a government based on what you look like and not a government based on policy. I don't care. I do not care whether it's a Chinese, a Indian, African, run this country. As long as the country is run with policies that will enhance the ability and to raise the standard of living in this country across the board. And if we are to go back and examine where we have seen these policies within the history of our country, you will see these policies by none other than Kamla Prasad Bisesa. This is the facts that Gordon and other religious leaders will not come to the forefront on their pulpits and speak out. When you stand on a pulpit, you must bring the truth. You must bring the facts. You must bring the truth naked, no clothes on. The truth doesn't need a pants, a shirt, a boxers, eyeshadow, makeup. The truth is naked. You know how to dress that. You know how to dress that. But you will never get that because of this price. This price that we attach to ourselves. So even on the streets, we put a price to sell our brothers out. We put a price to have our brothers murdered. We put a price on everything. And when you put a price on everything, you will destroy anything. Once you put a price on everything, you will destroy anything. And that is what the PNM have done to you. They have put a price on you. They have put a price on your vote. And when you believe that that price that is placed on your vote will improve your standard of living, it is a price that will send you into the dustbin. I remember working with Hedges Barrow in Brea. Working with Barrow in Brea. I would have drive Barrow out on a number of occasions. I would have campaigned with Barrow on a number of occasions. But let me tell you this. I remember when we were going to Brea on office days, I would go to Republic Bank in Brea, and I will collect $600-700 in $5 bills. Well, you can't take the truth. Well, I am here to give all you the truth. Naked, no clothes, $5 bills. And when we approach Lotten, and people run out when they see that car, Mr. Barrow, Mr. Barrow, Mr. Barrow, you know what was my job? $5. If you ball hard enough, you get two $5. You could count it and say it's 10 if you want, but you get two $5. And through Brea, $5 by $5 by $5. And let me tell you something. The people of Brea at that time will come out and vote. Ask yourself for what? Ask yourself, because we have not seen any development, we have not seen any infrastructure, we have not seen any industry flourishing. We are seeing Lake Asphalt, people on their knees. I received a call from an individual from Lake Asphalt this week. I was supposed to go down there this morning, but something came up and I couldn't make it. And I will try my best to call and go there tomorrow, please God. But let me tell you something. We have seen the pain of the PNM. We have seen the agony of the PNM. We have seen the exploitation of the PNM in every PNM constituency. But yet, you know what we vote for? We vote for $5. $5, and they will tell us that we have the greatest thing on the earth. We have political power. That is what the African have. We have political power, and do not allow anyone to take it from us. But look, the political power. The political power that we have is that we ought to be on our knees and beg and beg and beg. That is the power that they give us. Watch the crowd. I seen Kunta Kinte. I seen Kinta Kunt. I seen Toby. I seen everybody. And the party that resemble we. Watch where they have brought us on our knees, begging, pleading for what is ours. People, what is wrong with us in this country? What is wrong with us? We have allowed our minds to be interrupted by pollution from the PNM, and it it's in within our system that it seems as though we are now brainwashed. I don't want my Omar to be brainwashed. I don't want my Joshua to be brainwashed. So you know what? I take them along. Come on, son. Come on, Josh. Let's go, Omi. This fight is for your future. That is where the fight must be. So when they tell us that we have political power, have you seen the political power working for you? Have you seen the political power in your bank account? Have you seen the political power under your mattress in a brown bag? Have you seen the political power in a pitcher tin? What you have seen is only hardship. That is what you have seen. So why they implant within our brain that we have the political power? I could remember when the talk to remove Sat Sharma as the Chief Justice. I remember the talk that was trickling through the grapevine, through the rank and file of the PNM, is that we must move the Indian from that position and put one of us. That was the talk. That was the talk. We must put one of us where we must have indirect control. Why you think when I talk about I have no respect for the judiciary, you feel like talking because I like to talk? You feel like talking because I'm guessing? I am speaking because I am aware. You want to see something? You want to see something? Archie, put up the 5 individuals that I was asking if they are part of the Cosa Nostra. Put up the 5. You want to see something? You want to see independent? You want to see the African power? You want to see it? Well, look at there. Here it is. Here it is. Take it as you want it. Take it. This is the independency that you have. That is the independency. Take it as you want it. We have political power. We have political power. My friend, that's a myth. In other words, it's a lie. You don't have political power. You do not have political power in this country. You do not. What you have, though, in this country is political individuals that look like you, that have now enslaved you into believing that they are the ones that provide a future for you. That is what you have. You are enslaved by those who you believe is the power. There was a song, bring back the power. I say, you don't have no power. You don't have no power. You don't have no power in this country, Africans. What you have is guns and drugs and a team of individuals who utilize the blood of your brother and sister to benefit themselves and so that they can remain in power. That is what you have. You don't have political power. You have had 47 years. My brothers, where is your ghostry? Where is your school? Where is your contracts? Where is your land? You don't have power. What you have is a vote to keep them in power. Your vote does not work for you. Your vote have never worked for you. You live in the worst wretched conditions. You live in some goat pen that you call home. You live under the worst conditions in this society, and yet you tell me that you have political power? You tell me that you have political power? You don't even have a place to call your own. Young people in this society, young African boys and girls, they have not provided that opportunity for you. Why they tell you that you are the future and that you have political power? You don't have nothing. You don't have nothing, sadly enough. I have walked through and go through the length and breadth of this country. I have gone into areas that people would not go. I have gone in areas and I saw some radio hosts on PNM station saying, why you didn't kill a man? Why you didn't kill a man? That man say all the dance and that man say all the this and that. You see, they thought they could distort what I said. And what I said at that time was that the policies of Keith Rowley, when he freezed the laptops and when he took away the book grant, I said that Keith Rowley intend to keep you people dunce head in this country. Was I wrong? Or am I right? Look at the last C exam. 10,000 cannot make a grade. And PNM radio hosts say, kill Victor Roberts when he come in your area. You think I went in the beat-em for votes? That is what you believe? I went in the beat-em to see the condition that this government had its people, and yet provide some sort of an assistance to the residents there that had nothing to do with vote. I went to point out that no government would leave its people in this condition when there is apartments and buildings and houses and places. Al-Wari was getting rent and still getting rent for a building, and the building was outfitted by the government while they paying rent for all in the building. And yet to relocate some people in the immediate vicinity of that sewer pit, the government couldn't do that for you. I will take a water break and I'll be right back. We are back, we are back, we are back. Well, 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 well. Ladies and gentlemen, good, good. So there is douglAR with Anil tonight will be on Saturday. douglAR Politics will be on Saturday for the time being. And of course, we'll keep you in tune as things develop. Boy, actually pull back up Gordon there for me. Pull back up Gordon on that screen there for me, boy. Let me get into another segment here now. Another segment. Mr. Gordon. So while you speak of, or for a better word, while you spoke on Trinidad and corruption, I want to ask you today, Mr. Gordon, how I didn't hear you mention anything at all about our children that is being abused. How I didn't hear you mention anything whatsoever, Mr. Religious Gordon, about the high-ranking officials who continue to abuse our children in these homes that ought to be caring and putting out the best care for our children. How come? I don't know if it's a case of putting cat to watch cheese. Welcome, caller.
Good night, good night. Tomato, chuka, sada, roti, and Tina, Victor, Robert, Ati, Corky, everybody.
Good night, good night.
You see that priest you have at Bishop you have up there? People have to understand what is the nexus between that religious entity and Balize house. Remember, to some extent, I am the view that they are a party group. Remember, it had a fellow by the name of Simmer as Kennedy, something so ratting or something like that. Mm-hmm. He was a priest. They run him out of the priesthood for doing some kind of thing, and then he ended up as the MP for St. Joseph. So there is a nexus. So they will be very careful how they attack the vaccine wagon, because they like to benefit from them. And people have to understand the biggest set of money they ever get from any government is from the PP government. I believe Kamala gave them about 25 million to restore some cathedral in Port-au-Spain. So they have a close nexus. The other thing I want to laugh at, Chojam Jacob and his CTPS. You know, they're going to raid or search the Dominic home, St. Dominic home. They look like they're investigating these little children and the relationship they have with certain fellas from North, South, and Port-au-Spain and all kinds of things. But you know, the police went, and the police tell them what they're looking for. They didn't have the key for the cabinet, and the police gone back. So you know what the police do? Give them chance to burn all the files when they return tomorrow. So why the police didn't walk with a warrant and go and open the cabinet and get all the files? We have a wrong side police force. It is like Gary Griffith's still managing the TPS. Anything Gary say, the next 2 days, Jacob, Tojam, is implement what Gary suggests. Agon. Have a good night.
Thank you, caller. So the number to call is 373-5488. 373-5488. You see this kind of puppy show? This kind of puppy show, and what you detain some worker and all that sort of dotish thing. I am interested in the pedophile ring with the high-ranking officials, members of the business community, members of the judiciary, members of the law fraternity, members wherever you are. That is what I'm interested in. Though I want no less scapegoat by the side of the road and feel that you could puppy show Victor Roberts with what happening. So let me say this one time. Let me say this. Friday morning, and all your callers, all who interested, all who want to be a part of, Friday morning, 9:30, I will be gathering at the Queen's Park Savannah, right opposite Mali Street. Welcome, caller. I am going to be gathering right by the Queen's Park Savannah, opposite Mali Street, because I am going to take a copy of the Judith Jones report and a letter to the U.S. Embassy on Friday morning. Welcome, caller. Welcome, caller.
Hello, good night.
Good night, caller. Go ahead.
Good night, Mr. Roberts.
Yes, sir. Good night.
I would like you to know what they have meant for evil, God has turned it around for your good. That is for this really shooting.
Thank you, brother.
You remember that. Yeah?
Thank you, sir.
God has turned it around for your good. Jesus is Lord. Amen.
Thank you very much, sir. I am going to deliver a letter to the U.S. ambassador and a copy of the Judith Jones report. And I am further going down. I am going down. Somewhere down to Santry Lane. Somewhere down to Chancery Lane. By the UN office. Where I am going to drop a copy of the report. And a letter. I am going to send that straight to the United Nations. Asking the United Nations and the American Embassy to utilize whatever authority that is available to protect these children that continue to be abused. We have some information with the kind of abuse that is taking place in them homes up to last week. Welcome, caller.
Hello?
Welcome, caller.
Hello? Yes, good evening, Victor.
Good day, sir.
I'm calling from Brooklyn, New York.
Yes, sir. Welcome.
Victor, let me tell you are young. Victor, let me tell you something. Every last caller there with the TPS and Jacob. What do you expect of a man who is appointed and anointed by the Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago? He's a yes man. Anything that the head of the Cosa Nostra tell him to do. Remember the head of the Cosa Nostra, the Godfather, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So whatever he tell the underlings to do, they have to do it. If they don't do it, they get kicked out of because they're not sorry mafia.
Right.
That is what happened to John Gotti and the family and them, and the other and the Napoli family and them. If you don't toe the line, you get kicked out. But in other cases, you don't get kicked out in the US. They kill you. And they eliminate that problem one time because remember, the underlings are holding secret for the Godfather. So in order to avoid that interaction and that, the action and thing, you have to get rid of it. It is there proven in American mafia system ever since from Al Capone days, and it is there that where the Prime Minister saying that the PNM is a mafia gang, and it's no two ways about it. And being a retired police officer from Trinidad and Tobago, I am ashamed for Mr. The Commissioner of Police. I'm ashamed for Jacob. I have friends in the police work right now. I wouldn't call names. And their men will tell me, this is the worst commissioner they have ever seen in ages. It's the worst. First, the man, he can't talk. He's not educated. He doesn't know how to rapport with the people on a one-to-one basis, communicate with the population. You understand? And the same thing with the Minister of National Security. He is the next one that is a total failure, an abject total failure. And I'm talking about senior officers in the police service is relaying this message to me. Of course, I would not call names, but I'm willing to go behind closed doors and call names.
Wow.
I'm willing to do that. I'm willing to go behind closed doors and call names. So Jacob and I will accept as jokers. Believe me. Let me tell you something, Victor. I have friends in special branch. I have friends working in the FIU. I have friends working in the intelligence unit. I have friends working in the TTR, the Trinidad and Tobago Regiment Intelligence Unit. I have friends working, and these men are close to me. And they don't look at Indo-Trini or Afro-Trini or Chino-Trini or Syrian-Trini,
Right.
They look at you as a Trini. That's how they look at you. Because we are all Trinis when the end of the day comes. We are all Trinis. So when this is how we go down. We go down as you're right. You're wrong, you pay the consequences. Better have a blessed one, and also too, brother. All you be safe, all you have target on all your backs,
Thank you,
what
Paula.
already happened to you once. You know what happened to you once already, and you know what happened to Andy Pitbull. You know what's going on.
Thank you, Kola. Friday morning, people, I am going to be carrying some children with one or two parents, right, assembling at the Queen's Park Savannah opposite Mali Street. Mali Street is the street where the U.S. Embassy situates. And I am going to take a copy of the Judith Jones report together with a letter asking for the U.S. to assist in whatever way necessary or by what authority to protect these children that continue to be abused as we speak. I am further going to walk down to the UN office somewhere down on Santry Lane, and I am going to deliver sending that document straight to the United Nations, and I may very well send a copy to the CARICOM Secretariat asking that this matter be raised at the next CARICOM meeting, because it seems as though that the government of Trinidad and Tobago, they intend to protect these pedophiles. They intend to protect these individuals, these high-ranking individuals who continue to abuse these children. A matter of fact, we want Jacob to tell us who is the strong, short, rasta hair, stocky fella that participating in these abuse. You see, we can no longer I have credible information where children are being burnt from head to foot, burnt in these homes. Children have been sexually abused in these homes. Men coming in and sleeping with these children in these homes. I want to ask the doctors and them who does visit these homes, they should be in jail. They should be in jail. The social worker who ought to be visiting those homes, they should be in prison. The caretaker of these homes should be long gone down in the dungeons. But we continue to play. We have a government who put away a report. And this will never go away with me, until justice comes. We have Akil Chambers' death. We have a pathologist report that show what was found in that little 10-year-old body. We have seen and heard where the protocol is after 2 years, where this DNA and this evidence must be destroyed. We have seen a report, the Justice Judy Jones, the Justice Jones report. We have seen that report shelf, and Rowley must answer. Ayanna Webster Roy must answer. Why was this report shelved for over 6 months with no measures put in place to protect these children? They must answer. And it seems as though that this government, that they are a law unto themselves. And that is why I am taking the extra mile. I am going to write every institution possible to get justice for these children. Welcome, caller.
Good afternoon.
Good day, sir.
Well, I trust that you recognize this voice. And I communicated with you on the WhatsApp.
Right.
Good. So, since that time, apparently, Omicron variant is back, so they are going to be taking steps to reinforce the Public Health Act order. But I would also want to ask, where does the priest get the authority to hear the confession of a pedophile and tell him all his sins forgiven, go ahead and don't sin no more? Where in the Bible it gives them this authority? I really don't know. So for a price, for a big donation, they have no sins except they could go and sin no more. And then they could come back and sin and say, well, we cannot do it again. And every time that we can do it again, they collect more money from them and they forgive them. I don't know where they get this authority from. They're supposed to report them people, them is mad people. They simply let them walk out the church, show them where to drop the envelope, and tell them, peace be on you, brother. Now this same man you have up there, he's very good at climbing through window. He climbed through a window and find a dead Archbishop Anthony panting in the bed. Nobody could convince me that was the first time he climbed in and out that window. He is the climber. And they should have investigated him for finding a dead body. And they do, I don't know. I'm not suggesting anything. But I know if you watch that building, go by this magnificent self and watch that window where the old self climbed through. And you cannot convince me it's the first time he climbed in and out that window. So them fellas, and according to them, what they gonna say, who is without sin cast the first stone? Them just find ways to justify wrongdoing. We're supposed to shut all of them down. All of them have to go. You know, I want me to write the Pope in Rome and ask for his views and at least some prayers for them children too. Because that wicked man next to you, he's not going to do that. He's not going to do that. But the next one who has to run and pick up a position in Grenada from the Belmont Church, wicked people, they're wicked, they're bad. I don't know what the congregation holding on to follow these. All of this, I telling you. But I don't know where to get the authority to listen to somebody telling them that it has abused children in the worst way. And I also call in on our Syrian population who of Jewish heritage and must understand that our children in those homes living in a Holocaust. Are they comfortable knowing that people who suffered under Nazi Germany during that time, that present day, our children in the homes are facing a Holocaust? I am begging them to raise their voices. I am begging them to summon Rowley and the PNM up the same hill they call Manning and let he know what time of day it is. Because, let me tell you something, it is a Holocaust. Our children are living a Holocaust. The Balize should be next to the Nazi symbol and taken out of existence forever. It should never ever be lifted again. A Balize sign should be the sign for a pedophile. Anytime you tattoo a Balize on somebody, it's a pedophile. He marked for life. I'm telling you, and I want the Jewish community. I know a lot of them, they want to forget. But how you could forget when you have living reminders? Children, helpless, brutally raped and murdered. The screams, nobody hearing the screams. And the other one in the other room wondering if it's their next. When they will get the cigarette burn.
Boy.
This can't continue. No, we had come up with an idea, and I see they try to block now with this health crisis. They say this monkeypox and a new variant of this corona. And I just smoke screen to abuse children. And as I tell you before, the only reason them against people taking abortion, women having abortion, is because an unwanted fetus becomes an unwanted child and it ends up in a home. And the people who want them in the home, getting them. And the state paying for them to keep them. It's wicked. So I want the Syrian community, the Jewish heritage people, to understand that this is a Holocaust. Come out. Let your voices be heard. You might be the smallest group in the country, but you are indeed the most powerful. And I give you that. Now is the time to use that power for good.
Correct.
Thank you.
Thank you, caller. So Friday morning, 9:30, I will be at the Queen's Park, Savannah, right opposite Malley Street. And those of you who feel the pain of these children, who feel the hurt of these children, who is dissatisfied with what is going on in these state-paid homes. A matter of fact, I receive information that more children have been admitted to the homes as late as last week. More children in the homes, fresh children in the homes, while the predators, while the perpetrators, while these pedophiles continue to exist, sharpening their beak, sharpening their teeth to see who neck they're going to bite into and drain the jugular, drain the youth, drain the sanity of these children. And Keith Rowley and Ayanna Webster Roy put aside that report for 6 months, all you should be jailed. All you should be jailed. You see, they have to answer. They have to answer. People have to answer. People have to give an account. You can't tell me you are the prime minister. You are the guardian of these children. You are the protector of these children. Your policies must be surrounded around these children. And you will get a document, whether 300 plus pages, and you will shelf that while the predators having a feast day with these little boys and little girls. All you have to be sick. All you have to be sick people. Like it's a bunch of sick people we have running this government. A bunch of sickos we have running this government. You can't tell me that nobody in the cabinet will stand up. Nobody in the cabinet will speak out. Nobody in the cabinet will resign. If Olia would not resign because Olia leader did nothing about the children who are being abused, and the report states that it continue, then Olia more sick than those pedophiles, or Olia may very well be pedophile themselves. Welcome, caller.
Yeah, good night to you. Calling from you.
Yes, sir.
That
welcome.
Is something good. That is something good what you're doing. You're going to get good response. You're going from the U.S. Embassy. That is the best place to go. To deal with those wicked people in Trinidad, that government. I support you 100%.
Thank you,
and
caller.
also yes, do that. And also for the police killing, let them take back all of those police and them visa. They need to start doing that. The U.S. government needs to start taking away Trinidad and Trinidad police visa. It's very important. They'll cancel those fellas' visas. We don't need them out here. Too much wrong things going on in Trinidad right now.
Thank you
Keep
for your
the good
support,
work,
caller.
yeah.
Appreciate
Yeah.
it.
Yes, my brother.
Thank you very much, sir.
Yeah, okay.
No, man, we're not going to tolerate that. We're not going to tolerate that. Not a cabinet minister. Not a cabinet minister come out and say, look, I am dissatisfied with the shelving of that report. None earlier, not one earlier. What kind of mothers you people are? What kind of mothers? Or they didn't feel that pain and agony to bring forth a child and have it to be abused by sickos? Welcome, caller.
Yes, Victor. This is Brooklyn again.
Yes, sir.
You see the gentleman who just said about canceling the visa and things? I was calling to try and get you to say the same thing. I second that guy. You have to let the foreign government, which is like United Kingdom, Canada, USA, and Netherlands, and all these foreign countries know what is taking place within the government of Trinidad and Tobago, and let them request a suspension, a revocation of the visa. That happened under the APNUF government in Guyana, you know. Granger and them couldn't fly out there as they wanted, you know. And that is what made Granger and them kind of not surrender, but made them give up the election, because they was fighting tooth and nail for the fraudulent election victory. And that's why Rowley went across there and also carried the chairman of EBC in Trinidad to try and see if they could win or cook up the books to see if they could win the election for AFNU, but it didn't work. Because the PPP government, I ain't saying that they're the best, but what I'm saying is that they end up forcing their hand and informing the U.S. government and foreign bodies that this is what is taking place. And because even the Carter Administration Center had said that the election was full of rigged and irregularity. They just didn't want to give it up. You understand? Rowley, well, I don't know. Rowley, he carried the EBC chairwoman. What does she have to go to Guyana for? I can see the Prime Minister going. I can see the Foreign Minister going. I can see the Minister of National Security. What does the EBC chairwoman have to do with the election in Guyana? They pull the same thing in Trinidad and they get through because why? Kamla and them are being, with all due respect, Kamla and them are stand up saying, you go tell me no foreign observers came, no CARICOM observers come. You understand? They lock out people for the COVID vaccine and all kind of thing. And then after you go claim victory over this kind of rigged and also irregular election. But listen, I don't call for election now. Everybody will say, we want election now, we want election. No, you don't have to call election now. You have to force them out of power. Remember this, PNM, this is a warning to earlier. You see what happened in Sri Lanka. You see what happened in England. The world is changing. The tides are turning. When we had the summer revolution in one of those Middle East countries, you know what started that? I think it was in Syria or one of those places. You know what started that whole summer revolution? A man who had a degree from the university couldn't get a job, and he had a little vegetable stall was selling. The government of the day went to remove the guy, break down his stall, and that is where that revolution started. It's the same thing I will get upset with, especially on Charlotte Street in Port of Spain. Majority of the vendors on Charlotte Street in Port of Spain is of Afro-Trinidad descent. I will be there. I will go down there. I know what it is. You understand? All you do so and force the people hand out of it, and all you put up a big sign, Chinatown. Huh? So what to the black people and we colored people? All you take out and the mayor, you know, of Port of Spain, Martinez over here, put a big sign, big opening, Chinatown, big overhead sign. It just go to say how much Rowley and this Kenyan government care about we, Trini, black, colored, whatever you want to call it, but they care about we Trini people. Look, before I leave, I have been going to government secondary school, not secondary school, but private secondary school. I pay for that for myself, taking lessons in Port of Spain in the 60s. Ever since I see homeless people on that Royal Bank in Port of Spain. Today it has increased dramatically. It has increased. What has the government do for all these homeless people? What? Nothing. All they look at do is pull their pocket. I don't mind they pull their pocket, you know, because all politicians they do with all due respect. But at least you could give us good services. That is what we need. Good security, good roads, good healthcare, good education. You know, that is what we need.
Thank you, my brother. And that is the mission. That is the mission this Friday. I want to ask the US to suspend the whole cabinet, all of them visa, every one of them, from the Prime Minister come back, until they bring foreign investigators, because you cannot tell me that some of those reports is pointing out that high-ranking PNM officials is involved in this abuse. How could we put the cat to watch the cheese? You cannot get justice for these children. Once the PNM is in power and we have PNM high-ranking officials, and who knows how far up the ladder that these officials sits. So we want foreign investigators to come and do that independent investigation. Give them the same power that all give SRP Kate. All they pay Kate 40 million to investigate UNC. Give them the same power to investigate all year. Because let me tell you something. This pedophile ring start from the tippy top. It starts from the tippy top, quite up the ladder. You hear what I'm telling earlier? This ring starts from the tippy top. And when it starts from the tippy top, let me make it real for you, yes? Let me make it real for you. Many independent institutions, they are compromised with some level of these pedophiles. High up the ladder. Don't feel it's down below. You lock up some janitor or some cleaner or jokey or welcome caller.
Very good evening to Mr. Robert.
Good day, sir.
I think that you should write a letter also, this is important, to the United Nations Children's Fund. This organization works in 190 countries and territories, and their mission is to save the lives and to defend the rights of the child. In 1959, the UN General Assembly adopted the Declaration of the Right of the Child, which defines children's right to protection, education, and health. A letter to them is critical. All the best.
Thank you, caller. So I'm going down to the UN and I will deliver the letter and I will ask that it be delivered to the United Nations. Added to that, I will ask that it be dispatched to the relevant section to deal with this children situation. So I welcome your contribution there and I will take a note of it. But we cannot surrender. I want to ask Keith Rowley. The number is 3735488. Feel free to call. Feel free to call. And tell me if you're joining me there on Friday. Tell me if you're coming down by the Queen's Park Savannah Friday. Tell me that. I want to hear that. Tell me if I'm meeting you there, because I go in there. I starting there and I'm walking down to Mali Street, deliver, and then I'm going straight down by the UN. I may footy well drop off a letter by the CARICOM Secretariat too, because you see, we cannot, how could we have a prime minister for our country? How could this prime minister put away this report? Put away this report. Money was spent for this independent report. Judith Jones is competent, intelligent. It's an individual who serves in the judiciary, and therefore her character is without question. How come could you put aside a report of this nature for so many months? Welcome, caller.
Yeah, Mr. Roberts, good night, sir.
Yes, sir, good night.
Yeah, this is caller from today. Listen, that coffin you used to care about, I feel like I take it up back. Right? You hang it up too long, I feel like I take it up back, right? The Prime Minister, the DPP, the Police Commissioner. And one more thing before I go. I don't know if you used to watch them old-time Western. You know what I'm talking about, right?
Of course, I was a Western fanatic.
Right. When them men go into a tongue and the tongue do handle the sheriff, or the sheriff is a crooked sheriff, you know what they used to say? That the tongue open. Right? It's an open tongue. Right? Trinidad and Tobago is an open country. Have a nice night.
Thank you, caller. We had to get up and get people. We had to get up and get. I don't know how Trinidad and Tobago could stomach this. I don't know how our society could stomach this. Nobody crying out. No newspaper article. No, the newspaper not beating the story, begging for justice and crying out on behalf of these children who crying in the night while we cannot hear. And one caller put it forth very well. While one child screaming in one room, the child in the next room know that their turn is very well coming, destroying the psyche of the child. Watch now. All you understand what going on? All you Trinidad, what going on with this country? Like we lost we sanity, or we lost we sanity in this country, people? How could we stomach this? Simply because they say it's high-ranking official in the PNM. If was high-ranking official in the UNC, boy, the papers would have paint. The papers would have paint. They might have showed the devil coming out the sun. That is how evil. How evil this thing. This thing, people, what happened? Where's the cry on behalf of the voiceless? These children, you think these children in those homes because they have a choice? You think these children is living in these homes because the parents care for them? These children are exposed to every element of wrongdoing. Once you get the people who run in these homes to love money, these people would allow just what is happening to happen. We have seen a PNM individual, a lady who fought a seat somewhere up in the east-west corridor, came out early o'clock and spoke of this pedophile ring. We have seen people who come out and speak out. We still have the Dillian Johnson program that we will bring to you very soon. We have had people who come to us after hearing our cry for justice for these children. People who are working in these homes and telling us and sharing their experience, what they have come across. And you see this child protection unit? You see this child protection unit? I ain't saying nothing yet. I ain't saying nothing yet because I like to have all the facts before I talk. I like to have all the facts before I talk. But thus far, I am hearing that certain reports were made to the child protection unit. And today, people are still waiting to see some kind of tangible evidence, some kind of plan, some kind of doing to bring an end to what the government failed to bring an end to, what the government continue to fuel. Because I consider those who will get that document and put it away, Rowley and Ayanna Webster Roy, put away that document. I consider those individuals as adding fuel to what's going on. Because a report like this, Trinidad and Tobago, we should have seen immediately these homes stormed by police with search warrants, people being arrested, statements. Let me tell you something. If this was happening in the US, you would have seen the kind of action and how fast, whether it be governors, whether it be whoever who was involved. We have seen Bill Clinton and others who had to come and answer, and they were holding the highest office. And they had to come and answer in relation to the Monica Lewinsky file. Had to answer. We would have seen action. But in this 2x4 Trinidad and Tobago, where is a bunch of pedophiles involved in governance, we can't get no answers. Once again, you're talking about putting who to investigate? Putting Jacob to investigate what? Putting Jacob to investigate what? But they're making joke in this country, or so all it doesn't see PNM. All it doesn't see PNM when they see them. All they don't see PNM when they see them. Putting Jacob to investigate what? I heard Jacob telling Naked, Senator Naked, that he referred the file to the Anti-Corruption Bureau. All they don't see PNM when they see PNM. All they don't see them. Well, let me tell you something. Them them who sits at the hem and believe that some kind of PR, some kind of public relation could tie up the head of us on this side. All you better think again. We know the game while they're playing. We know the PR stunt. We know the PR stunt with, and we'll keep you informed as investigation go along and think. How long Camille Robertson rages on the investigation? How long? How long? How long? How long we had some Roman phone bill for 93,000 in Tobago? Or from a Tobago MP? How long? How much investigation we are going on? We hear about how much hundreds of thousands of dollars, 3 million, whatever, Rowley pay for painting. How long? How long we are all these investigations going on? And what are you hearing? Investigation continue. The investigation is at a sensitive stage. The investigation, we waiting to get some kind of forensic specialist to come in, to go in Catskill. How long? Once it a hogwash, we buy in as public relation, where they just dust it under the carpet. Want to come in $143,800. What happened to that? How long? Somebody tell me now, man. How long? So all they believe, all we're hearing now about Jacob and TTPS investigating, home and investigating, all you could take that notice if all they want. I know to get this job done, where these reports are saying that high-ranking PNM official involved, to get this job done, we have to get international people to clean this pedophile ring up once and for all. Lock them up. We want to see them on the papers. Every one of them, whether they're holding ministerial portfolio, whether they are senators, whether they are parliamentary secretary, whatever they are. We want to see them on the papers in handcuffs, because the evidence is there with the abuse of these children. And it's not Casper abusing them. It is not Casper abusing them. It is PNM high-ranking officials. It is them that abusing them. So what are they telling me about? Let me hear who come in Friday. But all you know, I sure all you know, that Friday, please God, with or without all you, that mission will be accomplished once God grant me the breath of air in this body. That mission will be accomplished. We will not sit down and take that. My sons will be there. My daughters will be there. Some of my niece and nephew may very well be there. You hear what I'm saying to all you? We're not accepting that. This is a fight for all the children in this country. Whether your child is not being abused in the home, very well, very soon, they may very well be abused, God forbid, by one of these sycophant individuals that sits in the hierarchy of the PNM. You hear what I'm telling you? That is how sick it is. And I want to ask Rowley a question again. I asked him the other day, but I can't hear me. I want to ask Rowley if he impregnate a girl of school age while he was a teacher. That is what I want to know. I want to know if he's a pedophile too. You see, I'm trying to figure out why would this file be shelved. I am trying to figure out and analyze why this report will be hidden. That's what I want to know. So asking Rowley, did you impregnate a girl of school age while you was a teacher? You tell me. Welcome, caller.
Good night, sir.
Yes, sir. Good night.
Yeah, listen to me. I would like you all to get the Speaker of the House and Jacob, that dotish commissioner, and then you had Webster. Take all of them and burn them in fire from it, please. Yeah, that pedophile, burn their ass out.
Thank you, Kola. Thank you, Kola. Thank you, Kola. Thank you, Kola.
No.
Let me tell you something. We had to get serious in this country, boy. We had to get serious in this country. All them children. Let me ask you something. If, and we know that this pedophile ring is existing for years upon years upon years, how many children lives that these individuals have destroyed? How many missing children that we have that we cannot give account for, they're just missing? How many children that just disappear in thin air and they try to tell you about human trafficking and they try to tell you about container to go China and Japan and all about the place? How many of these children have been sexually abused and probably murdered or probably die under that agony and pain by these wicked predators that we have? How many children that these people abuse over these years? Is it 1,000, 300, 500, 6? How much? How much? And where is the justice? Where is the justice? Where it is? Your prime minister rests down that paper for 6 months. Ask him why. He must tell us why. The press must ask he and Ayana Webster, Roy, why? That is what the press should be doing. Questioning why this document, why action was not taken immediately in relation to these documents. So then is these documents lie? Is these documents just a makeup? Or is that what they will have us to believe? But we know better. We know better. We cannot allow these criminals. Let me tell you something. When one human being destroy the sanity of another human being, that is something that really cannot be rebuilt. There is no amount of blood cells to rebuild sanity in an individual when it is destroyed under these brutal circumstances. These brutal circumstances. Could you imagine this short, stocky dreadlocks fella? This short, stocky dreadlocks fella with this short dreadlocks, this short rasta hairstyle. Could you picture somebody that fits that description, holding a child, holding a little boy or a little girl to sexually abuse them? Could you imagine the agony and pain that goes with that? Welcome, caller.
Hi.
Good night.
From Papori Road, Upper Barrackport here in the house tonight. Mr. Victor Roberts are doing a good job. Keep it up. And I just want to mention, this PNM government is studying to make rings to abuse children, when right now we are dealing with the high tension wire on the electricity wire that connects to the pole, have a transformer on it, and the high tension wire is about to burst. The road is shifting, and we have no communication or nobody coming from TNTech to visit, or even WAFA to fix to see the condition of the road. That's shifting and everything moving, the earth, the posts, the wires pulling from the house. And so we need some help down here, please.
So caller, take my number. My number is, I'll ask Archie to put it up, 3164468. Take my number. If you could send a video for me via WhatsApp, I will try to highlight it, and I'll try to get it to TNTech and so on, so that some kind of urgency could take place with that situation. So Archie will put up my number in a while, and you will get it there, and you could call me and send me a video with it. 4468. Welcome, caller.
Good night again, Mr. Robert.
Yes, sir. Good night.
That gentleman you're describing, that short, curly hair rasta, I don't think SRP case could investigate it. We have to call him Scotland Yard. That is who we have to call him. Scotland Yard. Not SRP case.
Scotland Yard.
Yes, sir. Scotland Yard.
Thank you, caller. Thank you very much, caller. So tell me something, people. The description of this short, stocky, Rasta hairstyle individual, whoever that may be, we have to find that individual. We have to bring that individual to justice. Whoever that individual may be, have to give an account. But could we get that justice here? Could we get that justice under Jacob? I am telling you no. I am telling you that there is some good, great, solid, straightforward police officers. I am telling you that. But we cannot get that by a PNM control police commissioner. We cannot get justice. If we can't get justice with these little petty thief and all these little petty investigations that hang up with PNM ministers, you expect to get justice with a pedophile ring, a ring of millionaires, a ring of big people, a ring where some people may be judges, some people may be lawyers, some people may be ministers, some people may very well be prime ministers, some people may be whatever. You think you could get justice when I appoint you and put you to act there and have you waiting for a confirmation? What justice are you going to get there, boy? All you realize what's going on in this country? I appoint everybody I want in strategic places to do my bidding. I appoint you there to protect me. I appoint you there while you feed, and I let you feed, you're feeding, but leave my quota alone. That is why I appoint you there. Welcome, caller.
Yeah. Good night again, sir.
Yes, sir. Good night.
I would like to find out if Rohan Senanen dead or he alive, or he gone to where? To hell? He dead?
Rohan may be enjoying the money he collect for K-Donna when he sell it. I just feel so.
Yes, I agree with that. That K-Donna money have him stupid.
Yeah, I feel so.
But our road is like, we have swamp in the road, you know. Sometimes when you walk in, you want to know if you're going down in the hole.
Caller, them don't care about that, you know. The vehicles they're driving is iron, you paying to maintain it, you know. Like taxpayers' money, them driving, the best it have.
Yes, the best.
So they don't care about we?
You can drop this message and tell Rohan Senanan, a guy from Upper Barrackport, want to know if he's dead. I'll come to the funeral tomorrow. He's burying or burning.
All
okay,
right.
Thank you.
Thank you, caller. Yes, we have to know. We have to know, how could you get justice? This is what these children crying for: justice, freedom. There is no justice on the street. We have seen some police killing, and we are hearing they talking about camera without charger. We are hearing about camera without charger. That is what we're hearing. So what really going on, people? What really going on? That is the level of incompetence that we have in the police service. You understand? We hearing about cameras stop in some back room but no charger to charge them. You believe that? Or you really believe this stupidness? The most, you're going to buy a Me Too. A Me Too you're going to buy, and you're getting a charger with it. A charger come with it. A device like a camera. Boy, watch now. What really kind of 2x4 dotish pack of idiots we have, say, running this police service, boy? Look at tell me. Or look at really tell me what kind of clown we have running police service. Or look at tell me and talking about command center, and we have a command center in outfit and set up, and boy, or look at Ole doesn't get dotishness so in Ole airs, boy. Ole doesn't get tired up and realize that it's a pack of incompetent fools we have running this country, a pack of jokers we have in serious position in this country. Only realize what happening? That had this country like a big joke. A big joke. Trinidad and Tobago is a big joke. Because a bunch of jokers we are running it. That is what we are. A big joke. But let me tell you something. Friday the mission start. The mission is stopping there, you know. Friday the mission start. I am saying, I am going to do everything in my power to make sure that justice come to those children that these sick men rape and bugged and abuse and burn. I was told of a little girl with over 70 cigarette burns to her body. I was told of a little girl with over 70 cigarette burns on her body. And you will tell me that them jokers and them can't find that child in that home? 70 cigarette burns. You know by who? You know by who? By the abusers. It seems as though that when they are abusing this child and the child body probably gone into shock and they realize that they cannot get their whims and their fancies and their joy, then they use cigarettes. They use cigarettes on that child probably to get a movement. That is the sick, nasty, stinking, dirty people that we have running this country, people in high office, and we support that, and we voted for that, and we comfortable with that, and we ain't doing nothing about that in another country, in a serious country. A report of this nature comes to a prime minister, and a prime minister refused to do anything for 6 months. I am telling you, you would have seen that country like Sri Lanka. You would have seen that country where people rebelled. You know why? Because people in those countries, they are not selfish. They are not self-centered. They are not a eater food group of idiots. They are people who look out for each other. They are people, when they think enough is enough, they unite and they act. But if these children that is being abused cannot get you to act, then in God's name, what could get you to act in this country? I want you tonight to lie down in your bed. I want you to lie down in your rocking chair or wherever it is lie down. And if it is stand up and sleep, or if it is sleepwalk, I want you to walk and sleep and sit down and lie down wherever and picture what these children is going through while you do nothing about it, and while you comfortable in your home. Go in the next room, open the door and watch your child. Watch your baby, watch your 10-year-old, watch your 11-year-old, watch your 12, 13, 14. Just watch your children. Even if it's a big man, open the door and go in the next room and watch your child. And picture what is happening to those children in that home was happening there and then to your child. And tell me how you would act. Tell Victor Roberts how you would have acted. You bust that door and see a man interfering with your child. You tell me. I know by me is Ayo Pancho. By me is Ayo Pancho. If you don't catch that now, catch it on your way home. I don't know about you. So I don't have to wait for that to happen by me, for me to stand up for those who it happening to. Let me say it again. I don't have to wait for that to happen by me, for me to stand up for those who it's happening to, when they don't have parents or guardian to stand up to protect them. My job is to do whatever I could to help those children to be protected from these animals. Welcome, caller. That is my job. My job is to do what is within my power to assist these children in those homes who do not have parents, guardians, and even caretakers to take care of them. Because if a prime minister could rest on that report, then all fall down in this Trinidad and Tobago. And if you intend to do nothing about that, I am telling you, my journey and my mission now start. My mission now start, and that mission would be accomplished. Because yea, do I walk through the valley of the predators and the pedophiles, I don't fear them. I don't fear them. I fear my Lord, not them. You hear what I'm telling all you? Not them. And I give all you a little synopsis tonight why I don't fear them. Because them don't keep this body breathing. Them don't keep this body breathing. It is a creator that keeps it breathing. And when that creator say, today is the last breath, so shall it be. There is no doctor in the world to put back that breath in your body when the creator say it is the last. And let me tell you this. When the creator ain't ready yet, nobody can take that breath out of that body. They could shoot it up, they could mash it up. It's until, and I hope Gordon and other religious leaders will understand that they have a role to play, and their role is not in the collection basket. Their role is to stand up for the poor, the oppressed, the downtrodden, the children that being abused. But you see, you have to understand, you have to look deep into where the abuse started. You have to see where and when it started. And then you have to also understand that in some religious sect, this type of abuse, it is normal. Little boys and little girls. You see what I'm saying? Little boys and little girls, they treat them like a parang side. Everybody try to parang the right house. But let me tell you something. In Trinidad and Tobago, what the government failed to do, we the people will stand up and do. So Friday, please God, we will be in Port of Spain. And I call in my special branch partner and tell him one time. So they had to frighten, and they had to say, oh, they know robots coming there and robots coming there. Robots coming in the Queen's Park Savannah. Robots going Mali Street, and robots going down by the UN, and robots delivering a copy of the report, and robots delivering a letter pleading and asking on behalf of those children, help us please. That is the cry of these children. Help us please. And that is the mission that we would be going on. That is the beginning of the mission. The beginning. Because listen, the pedophile ring have to break up. Have to mash up. They have to be held accountable for their wicked, devious, nasty, conniving, sick action. You hear what I'm saying? We have to deal with them once and for all. And justice will come. Jump high, jump low. That is our position. So I urge you, Friday morning, 9:30, those of you who serious, you can meet me there. Meet me there. I am going to be there with some parents and some children. And we are going to do what we have to do. So all you could call Jacob and tell him, or you could call the tear gas crew and tell them, or you could do what all you had to do. But I am saying, Friday, please God, we have to do what we have to do. So I'm saying, we are wrapping up at this point in time, and we look forward to you joining TNT Speaks tomorrow. It will be live on douglAR Politics, UNC, Facts Not Fiction. Tune in at 7, Archie? Yes. At 7 p.m. sharp. I believe TNT Speaks will be in the Mayaro area, Arch. Yeah. Mayaro area. You're living in those areas, come out and support. Those of you who living out of those areas and cannot make it, tune in to douglAR Politics, YouTube, Facts Not Fiction, UNC page. All of these platforms will be coming to you live. Okay? And we will be back here Friday, please God, God's willing. Friday evening, we will be back. So feel free to join me Friday morning at 9:30, opposite Mali Street, Queen's Park, Savannah, as we do what we have to do in the interest of these children. God bless. Stay safe. We out of here.